Hey guys, welcome to this week's Weekly Drip. My name is Kenzie and I'm going to be sharing 2 drink recipes that were developed here at BlendIn by me. The first is going to be our recipe for our 2018 kind of like August to November drink called Angel Down. This one, you guys might remember, looked like a shaken iced latte drink, and it contained chamomile and sage, and it was a cold drink with kind of this foam on top. I'm going to teach you guys how to make that from start to finish. The first kind of main component of this drink was the chamomile sage syrup. We made that by boiling basically the ingredients with sugar and water. The complete recipe is 4 cups of water, 4 cups of sugar, 1 cup of chamomile blossoms. The tea we're using kind of looks like this. It's from Jiva, but you can use any chamomile tea blend to make it. And what you do is you combine those ingredients and you boil it for 12 minutes. Turn on the heat and then add in just a spoonful of dried sage. We're using kind of just like a regular McCormick ground sage. This is really easy to find in grocery stores. You just add in kind of like a small teaspoon of that and let that boil for 3 additional minutes for a total of 15 minutes from start to finish. And then the syrup is ready to strain and bottle, and you get like a full liter jar or like 750 milliliter container. You'll get enough syrup in for that yield. So Maggie will post the recipe, so the numbers will be there. After you have that syrup, the rest of the ingredients are really simple. The only special equipment you need for this drink is going to be the shaker. We're gonna weigh some of the ingredients, but we'll also just use the pump for reference. We need 40 grams of syrup, which for us is 4 pumps. A double shot of espresso, which was pulled just before this video. And then I will weigh my milk. It's 120 grams. We're using whole milk to match the original recipe, but you know, you're welcome to do your own substitution. And then we measured out kind of just a regular scoop of ice, or about 200 grams of ice. And then you just combine all of those ingredients in the shaker and start shaking. And we're not straining this one. We just take the cap off and pour it straight into the glass. And this foam on top gives it a really good texture. And if you shake it hard enough, you'll also get some texture from the ice chips that form during the shaking. Yeah, so that's the complete recipe. It's a really simple recipe, but one of the things we love about signature beverages is how they can make the flavor of the coffee really complex. And for Angel Down, the combination of the chamomile and sage really adds this nice kind of floral note and even like a subtle spicy note to the flavor of the coffee in this drink. And we think it goes really well with the texture from the foam. So hope you guys make it at home, enjoy it, and let us know what you think. The second recipe that we're going to show you in this video is going to be for the Optimist, which was another summer drink that we were serving through the 2019 year. I made this drink with the intent of it being like a really refreshing, but also kind of like a lighter drink. So we featured oat milk from Elmhurst for this one. And this one also came with the homemade syrup. So I'm gonna start things off by teaching you guys how to do the syrup. This one involved white chocolate, which we get from a company called Guittard. And we also made a homemade lemon cinnamon syrup for this. To yield 1 big bottle, we used 6 cups of water, 1 cup of sugar, and 4 whole cinnamon sticks. We just bring that all to a boil and let it boil for 10 minutes. At that point, we turn the heat off, and you take 2 lemons. These are kind of just small regular lemons. We would cut those in half, juice them, and then add both the juice and the lemon rinds into the syrup and let that boil for another 10 minutes. And then you turn off the heat and let it rest for 10 minutes to kind of combine all the flavors. That way, when you use all the parts of the lemon, you get this really nice and deep lemon flavor for your syrup. In addition, it kind of like adds some more body to the final drink. So we use that. We use 15 grams of that completed syrup, and we also use 10 grams of the white chocolate syrup. So I'm gonna put those things into this same glass. This glass, we forgot to mention, is 16 ounces. So first goes the lemon syrup, which we weighed out. And then the 10 grams of white chocolate. This one also contains a double shot of espresso. And while the espresso is hot, I'm just gonna stir these together. Then we add about 200 grams of oat milk. And we just top that off with ice. And we stir it one more time to make sure the drink is cold from top to bottom. And then this last step will actually add the most intense kind of lemon flavor. You get the floral elements from the lemon peel, and we're gonna use the zester to add the lemon zest on top of it. And that is the complete recipe for the Optimist. It's even easier than Angel Down because all you need is, the zester is the only special equipment you need. And it's a really aromatic and lemony and refreshing drink. All right, so after showing the recipes, we just wanted to sum things up. The first point that we wanted to mention was the actual coffee that you'll want to use for these drinks. We recommend either using the Nile or the Santa Rosa. These are both kind of like slightly slower and longer roasts that contribute just the right amount of sweetness and chocolatey notes and kind of just like a lower acidity, a lot of sweetness, and these attributes of these 2 coffees make it really well suited for these 2 particular drinks. So those are the 2 coffees that we recommend the most for making the 2 drinks taste similar to the way you might have had them in the shop. And the other thing we wanted to mention before we end the video is just for some alternatives to using an espresso machine to pull espresso shots. If you don't have one, you can also try making these drinks using a mocha pot, which is kind of like your stovetop espresso. And another alternative would be an AeroPress with the Prisma attachment from Fellow. This one will also allow you to make, both of the methods will give you the ability to make like a kind of like a strong and sweet coffee that will kind of stand up to all this milk and extra ingredients and flavors that you're adding to it. And the final point that we wanted to mention was that for the syrups, now that you've made a whole big bottle of them, you can also try using the extra syrup in tea or maybe lemonade or maybe cookies or something. But of course, we're most excited to see what inspiration will take you when you add them to coffee drinks.